I've always believed that when things go wrong at the beginning of your day, it's a sign. And on day 2 of my bike tour, that sign was my Tim Hortons card not working at the register. Little did I know that was just the beginning of a day filled with flat tires, extreme heat, and a race against the setting sun. But hey, isn't that what bike touring is all about? Good morning, everyone. Here's day 2. Today we're going from Emmansburg to Essex. It's about a 35-mile ride, mostly on the Cypher Greenway. It's a beautiful trail, gravel, mostly flat. The forecast says it's going to be 92 degrees, so that shade will be welcoming. I'm feeling good this morning. I got my hydration and I'm ready to roll. Here I am checking to make sure the wind is still at my back. The first part of the ride was pretty smooth, but the heat started to become a major factor. I made a quick pit stop at Wendy's for some ice and a burger. I usually plan for some extra time to relax, and thank goodness I did, because I was about to need every single minute of it. I was trying to keep my exertion level low, but after 5 miles with no shade, I started to feel my energy drain right out of me. I pulled up to the general store feeling completely wiped out. I bought 2 bottles of water, one to drink and one to pour over my head. I've been here before. I knew I had to take a long break to recover. I got back on the bike less than 50 feet away from the Cypher Greenway. I got on the Cypher Greenway and it felt amazing. It's 20 degrees cooler, it's got a beautiful canopy of trees, and I'm going to be enjoying this for the next 15 miles. I am enjoying the ride through these charming small towns, just taking it all in. I stopped to shoot some video. When I finished, that's when I noticed it. My rear tire is flat. I thought the sealant would hold, but a small piece of plastic had cut the tube. No big deal, right? Quick change, and I'm back on the road. But 5 miles later, I got a second flat. I found out later this was a pinch flat. I was down 2 tubes and it was getting late. After using my last tube, I had a choice to make. Press on for 10 miles to exit and run the risk of another flat in the dark, or pivot and head 15 miles to Windsor. I thought, what would my friend Diego do? And the answer was clear. Windsor was the safer, smartest choice. I made the turn onto the Chrysler Greenway, which would take me right into downtown Windsor. If you ever want to see some epic bike touring video, please check out my friend's channel, Flyscout Rider. I will put a link in the description below. I'm not sure why this song popped into my head, but it did, and it stuck with me to the end of the ride. As the sun started to set, I realized it was getting dark way too fast. I was seeing strange, smoky haze that I thought was fire, but it actually was the Canadian wildfire smoke. Now I'm really in a race against the clock. I am thinking, Where's a warm shower host when you need one? As they say, celebrity death comes in threes, so do flats. 4 miles from the hotel, I felt that familiar slow leak. I managed to pump it up and limp the rest of the way. I made it. I finally got a chance to relax and take a walk, taking in this eerie, beautiful sunset. The wildfire smoke made for a strange and unforgettable view of the Detroit skyline. What a day. If you've been following my cycling journeys, you know my mantra, FEAR, fear. Forget everything and ride. But this morning there was one thing I couldn't no longer forget. My legs. They felt like they were still on the pedals. Once I got up and looked out the window, all I could see was this eerie orange ball in the sky, swallowed by the wildfire smoke. After doing some much needed stretching, it was time to get some fuel. I was headed to the most Canadian of all places, Timmy's. I'm not a big fan, but for a quick hit of some coffee and some carbs, you can't beat it. Plus, they're just about on every corner. As I'm walking downtown, I walk by Adventure Bay Water Park. I think it's one of the few water parks downtown. I also walk by my favorite lunch spot, which is Sir Cedric's. They have the best fish and chips in Windsor. Okay, here's day 2, with it being sunny in Ontario, but the smoke is starting to arrive. And with it being Sunday, all the bike shops are closed. So I'm going to hop back over to the States, go to my favorite bike shop, pick up some tubes, get this tire repaired, and then once the smoke clears, I will get back on my journey through southern Ontario. Okay, this is where you catch the tunnel bus to get back to the States. It runs at the top of the hour every day. And it's only $10. Things are going well. 10 miles and no flatties. The smoke wasn't so bad at street level, but I knew things could change. Just arrived at one of my favorite bike shops, Bikes, Blades and Boards in Grosse Pointe. Good thing I did, because it turns out I picked up a wire, probably somewhere around Canada's 401 highway. The team there hooked me up with new tubes and added some sealant to my front tire to prevent another flat. the ride home, I was starving. I found real food at breakfast, and that jerk chicken bowl was exactly what I needed. Thanks, Mark, for hooking the brother up. The alerts started coming in. The wildfire smoke was just going to get worse. Even now, my eyes are starting to burn. I made the tough decision to pause the tour. This journey is about enjoying the ride, and I won't be defeated by bad air quality. I'll pick up right where I left off once the air clears up. Believe it or not, the next day after I arrived home, I had another flat. So, back to the bike shop. As you see, the final leg of my bike tour was derailed by a series of events, starting with 4 days of unhealthy wildfire smoke that forced me to take a break. As soon as the air cleared, I went back to the bike shop to address the repeated pinch flats that I had been getting. I showed the mechanics 2 different tubes with pinch flat holes in about the same general area. Upon all of us scrutinizing the rim tape, and valve stem, we couldn't find anything that would cause the puncture. We decided to take every perceivable precaution. They installed a new rim strip, an extra piece of old inner tube around the valve stem. A dose of sealant was also added to the front tire. Just when I was getting ready to get back on the road, Mother Nature had other plans. We've had 4 days of continuing thunderstorms and flash flooding. It was about 10 days before I could even really consider restarting my Canadian tour. This tour has been a reminder of one of the best parts of bicycle touring. It's the cycling community. To everyone that stopped to help me when I needed to change my flats, everyone who gave me great customer service, everyone that stopped to talk to me, and to those awesome ladies that had breakfast with me from North Carolina. I want to thank you all, and I want you to know I appreciate you. If you want to see what happens on day 4, hopefully with no flats, be sure you like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you ever had a bike tour go off the rails. And until next time, I will see you on the road.